Today is November 29th, 2024. Yesterday on the 28th, outside my apartment, I could hear people talking. These men were talking, and they said, we told the guy that let everything happen here, we didn't find any of this funny. That when we found out they roofied her neighbor, that he was telling people he was an astronaut and a New York cop. And that's what they were doing to her when they drugged her and told her to say it. She never seen her talk to anybody before? The guy's like, no. Okay. During the case, the police taped him. They were trying to fool everybody with their date rape amnesia drugs, that they had sodium pentothal reports, true serum. They were lying. They were date rape drugging me. Amnesia drugs. A cocktail of different drugs to make me sleepwalk. Okay. They said, no man talked to her. No, we used true serum on her instead. And pure sodium says, what? No, it's more pure date rape amnesia drugs, and they told me to say, what? I hate ignorant people. Ignorant people. I never seen or talked to anybody before the FBI. Never even had my neighbors in my home. By the second week up there, I'm waking up with bruises, throwing up, heart racing, personal infection. I thought it was a dirty well water I was showering in. I come in and I would be fine, working out in the yard, going and wash my hands, make something to eat and drink, and it's out of a 2-liter Diet Coke. Go and use the bathroom, wash my hands, better sit down, take a drink in the room, and go dizzy and black. Wake up hours later. What on earth is wrong with me? And then my head would be spinning. I'd be throwing up. Well, I don't remember bringing my arm or leg. Throwing up, severely infected, and it kept happening. Or wake up with injection marks and the same thing. Went to Altman Family Physicians. I'm like, what on earth is wrong with me? I got all these bruises. Did you fall? No. Maybe you're coming anemic. We'll get you some iron pills. I said, the muscles are killing me. Well, we'll get you muscle relaxers for the pain. I said, I have migraine headache and I've been throwing up and dizzy. My heart's racing. We'll get you some for headaches and throwing up. I said, the well water is really dirty. I'm showering in. I said, my personal area is so infected I can't hardly pee. Here I'm being drugged, beaten, raped in my own home and no memory of it. See, I was talking to some nurse about it. She's like, we all know rapists do this. We try not to leap that it's a rapist. I want to think it's like the well water or virus or something environmental. But we know rapists prey on people in their home. Illegal monitoring is 7 years. Setting up button cameras, cyber stalking somebody is 7 years at the minimum. It's a federal crime. Dave can't hire some drug dealer named Pete on his own to run a drug scam and have his crew break in and roofie drinks, and I don't even know they're there. Be stupid enough to drug me, tell people they drugged me and told me to say it before. And all kinds of crazy crap. Never seen or talked to anybody. Oh, we were taping in the bathroom. We sold your grandkids on porn sites. We sold all of you on porn sites. We photoshopped a shower scene in the other room to make you look weird with yourself. And laugh in my face, laughed at FBI agent John how he'd fall for it. I talked to a sheriff. No law enforcement would fall for such a drug scam. Lighthouse Tabernacle made fun of him June 7th, 23 for falling for the stunt and tastes before that were only a stunt. You mean that FBI agent John fell for that? You're kidding. It was only a stunt. You mean FBI agent John fell for the stunt and tastes before? Eric confessed part of the drug cartel. November 18th, 22. All the tastes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people to turn on and they fell for it. Okay. Christmas Eve of 22, I went to Danny and Jen. I said, "Do you know where they kicked in my door on the 6th day?" "Yeah, Dad said it was a realtor passing out keys. Don't report it." "Yes." "Did you know about button cameras stalking me?" They're like, "No." I said, "Did you know about a shower scene in the other room to make me look weird with myself?" "No." I said, "Do you remember all the giant bruises, orange, lemon, and grapefruit size bruises all over me?" "Yes." I said, "And I was dizzy, throwing up, and almost passing out, even including from the neighbor by the second week up there, and it kept happening?" "Yes." I said, "Did you know they were drugging and beating me and telling me to say weird and molester stuff?" They're like, "No, I thought you were working too hard and bruising too easy." Grandkids came out of the room and hugged me. "Grandma, is that what's going on?" We didn't know. And I asked them if they knew anything about that jackass Eric, confessing everything was him and not me and done for a stunt for people to turn on me. They're like, "No." She's like, "Well, I bet he's long gone since he confessed." Hmm? That would have made them accessory to having me harmed. It's called racketeering. Racketeering is drugs, threats, rape, and attempted extortion. Under any of that, it's 20 years automatically without all the other crimes. You go to jail for this. I went on Thanksgiving of 18 in a legally bugged house. John's kids, my oldest one, his kids were playing Boo in the basement. I had a split level, and they were taking everybody down one by one to jump out and yell Boo. My turn to go down. On the way back up, the house wasn't meant for Grandma. It was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa, and Grandma needs to get out. I look down around the corner, and they're all in a huddle laughing, going like this, saying crazy crap. I go sit by upstairs and sit by Dixie and the baby, and I thought, who is Shell? I have to die first. Shell? Flora, my other granddaughter, comes running up. They're saying mean things in the basement. I go up to John. "What is going on?" He's like, "I don't know, Mom. I told Melissa," that's his ex-wife, that goes to Dave's old church, that you're going to be going through a divorce and you're going to be moving out. She'll just have the kids make up something. But don't worry about it. Nobody can say anything bad about you. She'll have her church people make up something too. But trust me, Mom, nobody could ever say anything bad about you. So don't worry about it. I said, "Well, you shouldn't have said anything till a divorce happened or I moved out." "Well, I did. But since nobody can say anything bad about you, don't worry about it." I went to Dave to clarify everything. Okay? I taped him, and so did the police and the FBI. I said, "Dave, I've never hurt anyone." He said, "Karen, you're good to the kids, you're good to the grandkids. You would never hurt anyone. You're good to everyone, no matter who it is." I taped him, of course. Okay? They made up crazy crap on all my kids, trying to get them framed that they were part of the drug cartel, harming me, and trying to cover up Dave, trying to have me murdered. I went to Joshy. "I've never done anything bad or wrong." "I never said you did." Hmm? They were making up stuff by Christmas of 21 or Christmas of 22. That I was supposed to be a flasher and all this other stuff. I called up Josh. I said, "I never flashed you." He said, "Mom, I verify you never flashed me." He said, "Are people making up stuff like that? I'd move away." Okay. I went to the twins. I said, "I've never done anything bad or wrong." "That's the truth." "Always been good to you." "Yes." Said the same thing to Joshy's girls. And the same answers. "Always been, never done anything bad or wrong." "Yes." "Always been good to you." "Yes." My family looked at me like I was stupid. The only thing these people have confessed to, they were exploiting me and harming me and running a scam on me. From the beginning of the case, where a little white, I woke up with another bruise about the size of a lemon on my leg. Throwing up, I finally got myself together and I went down to Walmart 62. All the police and the feds are down there. This little white man walks up to me. "For every idle word you tell on us, I'll turn it on you." I'm like, "Who are you?" "You try to leave, Dave. I'll list you child molester." I'm like, "Who are you?" I mean, somebody you've never met walk up and say something like that? He's like, "You know that bruise on your leg?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "I used sodium pentothal on you." No, he didn't. He stuck me with a daybreak drug in my sleep. You know how legal that is? It's 20 years. He said, "You know what you told me?" Now, I never talked to him. He said, you told me you were wearing this one nightgown. You bent over improperly once, and they accidentally seen your butt, and you had a life of pain because of it. You tried to leave Dave. I'll list you a child molester for that. I got away from that freak. I got home to a legally bugged house. Dave verified I was dressed modestly, and they only made fun of the back of my knees. He made up the whole thing. Okay? And then right after that, there were a whole bunch of people were coming up laughing in my face how they erased some guy named Chris out of the room. They photoshopped all their lies. That's how they put it. Okay? I never had a Chris in my house. People have said he was one of the main people hurting me. They need to find out who he is. Okay? People talked about him around me. Okay? Let's see. Then all kinds of drugs and told to say it. May 25th, 21, 6 p.m. I got 2 witnesses in my phone. I'm being the church people breaking in before drugging me, telling me to say weirdo molester stuff. Okay? 8/9/21, the apartment building for me, second close offense. A lady and little girls lived there. They were outside talking about it, and then 4 or 5 neighbors got together and did a police report of being drugged and told to say it before. 1295 Maryland, a little old white lady yelled at him for drugging me and telling me to say weirdo molester stuff. How not funny that is, them drugging her and telling her to say stuff like that. She talked to several people in 21. Okay. December 9th, 21, at the Oakland apartment at 4 p.m. They told them all the tapes before were them and not me, and it's just a bunch of men doing crimes down here. See if someone will stop them. Same day, white man bald with dark eyes distributing food at the Stark County Hunger Task Force on 9th Street. He was actually worked as security in my for my case. He came out and he said we always knew the tapes before were them and not her, so we never said a word. Okay. January 19th, 22, Department of Disability, 11 o'clock in the morning. They told them I was drugged and told to say it before. February 2nd, 22, Burlington Coat Factory. A Latino man and his girlfriend were in there. He comes up to me and one of the clients I was with. It's not funny what's going on. He said, I know, I wish I wouldn't have drugged her first and told her to say it. I regret it. I got my client away from him. He said, you know, I heard that Latino man admit to drugging you and telling you to say it before, Karen. I'm like, stay out of it. I'll tell the police. Went into Save-A-Lot on Whipple. They're selling this case online. People are looking at their phone. They took off running, screaming, oh my goodness, they admitted to drugging her and telling her to say it before. Took my client back to his apartment, the brown house across the way. The African-American man ran out and yelled at Postman. Postman's like, we all heard it. Okay. An investigator from Ravenna drives a black Sebring. Pulled up next to my client's apartment. Said he was talking to someone. He said, I seen her out today. Found out that bastard really did drug her and tell her to say it before. If he sees me out and I see his car, he tells people they already have these people admitting they photoshopped everything in to leave me alone. Okay? All right. November 18th, 22, Eric, one of the wanted stalkers. Okay. October, November 21, I'm in Maslin, Stack Care emergency room on Wales Road, and a Maslin officer comes in. I'm here to watch her. There's a Steve and Eric stalking her, and we don't know who they are yet. And it's actually funny. Nothing they have is admissible. Of course it's not. It's the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution. You have a right to privacy. Okay? November 18th, 22, they said it was that Eric they were looking for. Came in and screamed out in Walmart 62, 2 to 6 p.m. All the tapes before were me and not her. It was my idea to come up with it, my idea to do it, my idea to say it. For all these people to turn on and they fell for Well, if it was only you, I could take care of it. I know it's that bad. And they still fell for it. June 7th, 23, Walmart 62, Lighthouse Tabernacle. And the cartel make fun of FBI Agent John. FBI Agent John fell for the Donna tapes before. Oh, come on now. That FBI agent actually fell for it? You're kidding. Is that what's going on? FBI Agent John fell for the Donna tapes before. Okay. March 1st or 3rd or 21, they said they put 2 clips together, put me in a porn. It's not her, it's them. Or telling the neighbors. They're so far altered. March 13th, 21, I'm in Mercy Medical. A lady came in, no man was ever to touch her. Nurse comes in laughing, the only thing they have you on is adjusting yourself. The guy said, that's sick. Said, no, it's funny. She simply wiped off water with clothes on. With clothes on. He said, that's sick. He said, no, it's actually really funny. She just brushed it off. They didn't have anything else. What's wrong with this? Then they started saying, you touched yourself, you exposed yourself, you touched yourself, look weird. It made my stomach bleed for a couple days. And I got to thinking, they're playing me. They probably put my head on somebody else's body. Then I got to thinking, what would you be doing? If you touch yourself, you expose yourself, you're undressing. You touch yourself, look weird, but not weird. What are you doing? You be putting yeast infection cream on. Or did you get undressed and get in the shower and you're washing yourself? It sounds like showering. Go outside to smoke. She figured out what they did. That's where May 12th, 22 at noon, they found a tape of them emitting a shower scene in the other room. May 26th, 22 at noon, the shower scene was done on purpose. I had a client in Navarre in February or March of 22. The next door neighbor, they told them that Pete ordered everything to be drugged, photoshopped, and made up on me. Okay? In August of 23, on a Tuesday, Officer Mark told the lady, none of this is funny. She said, did her ex-husband defend her? He said, yes, we taped him. She said, did anybody ever talk to her? He's like, no. Then they have had to frame her. He said, it's been documented and verified. She was framed before. And it was a drug cartel. We seen him. She's like, no, that's funny. He said it also was documented and verified. It was a medication error that made her sick before, and it was also documented and verified another woman was using her insurance. She's like, none of this is funny. He said, I know it's not. In September to October of 23, I was in Akron. I was working, and this lady and guy walked by me and my client. And said even some of the drug dealers they hire to help watch her, they don't even find any of this funny. And the guy said, did she do anything wrong? The lady's like, no. The drug dealers confessed they photoshopped everything on her and made fun of the FBI for falling for it. He's like, are they going to do anything about it? We don't know. But none of this is funny. I even went to her ex-husband and asked him if they ever said it was a medication error that made her sick before. He said yes. And they did tell them to sue those doctors. He didn't say a word and let all those people hurt her. None of this is funny. It's satanic, actually. April 28th, 24. Walmart on the Strip. I go to walk in, and this guy's on the phone. I listened to the recorded line. That agent did admit to telling on her before. And he did talk to her like that. They better do something about this. Get my client away from him. We're in the canned veggie aisle. Officer in uniform shows up. Karen, we all know nobody drugs anybody but the drug cartel. There's a drug cartel in your home before. We all know that guy told on you before. I want to know how he heard it. The Stark County sheriffs made fun of some guy named Kurt in 21 for falling for all this and called him slow. Okay? He tells everybody to stay out of it that he knows. Some guys on the phone with him, Kurt, none of this is funny. They have on a recorded line that agent admitting to telling on her before. They even have him admitting he was in it with Dave and stole their money. They have these people taped admitting they made everything up on her and they drugged her and told her to say it before and they photoshopped everything. Everybody needs to stay out of this. Go up front, Pam and her granddaughter. Uncle Dave said he had someone tape her before. Oh, they'll verify him. We went to walk out. All the investigators around me busted out laughing. It took her long enough to admit she was in it with Dave with those stocking tapes. Her family was linked to the following already. Now she's in it with Dave and those stocking tapes. Her family better never put their name on it or verify anything. The police have already taped them defending her. And these people taped admitting they made everything up on her. They drugged her and told her to say it before and photoshopped everything. That means they were in it with Dave the whole time, trying to have her killed and help cover it up. The police would have to arrest him. Everybody's scattered. Because if my kids, do you realize how satanic that is? If they were actually in it with Dave, having their mother drugged, beaten, raped, drugged for fake confessions, photoshopped washing, they were helping selling kiddie porn of kids going potty and having me human trafficked and almost murdered. And then in it with a drug cartel, having me harmed running this stupid drug scam, the police would have to arrest them because that makes them dangerous. Racketeering is drugs, rape, threats, and attempted extortion. It's 20 years. Without the kiddie porn, human trafficking, attempted murder, conspiracy to commit murder is life in federal. Sextortion of photoshopping and washing? They have several life sentences. By federal law, FBI agent John was to arrest them on the first day. Not make fun of a rape victim. Not going around telling the cartel he was going to help him because of Strange's baby lie of faking you were sick and faking you got well 15 years ago. And it was a medication error, medical malpractice that almost killed me. And Dave even told him that in 2002. He knew it. He thought I was on morphine patches and I was on fentanyl patches, which were stronger. And it was a medicine making me sick before. He even knew that. And it took me 9 months to slowly get well. And I had nothing to do with that traffic accident. Me and my whole family were all at home. Brian Laney had to show up and tell us that Phil didn't stop at a stop sign and ran through that stop sign into a semi, killed him and Tyler both. He didn't even try to stop in front of a bunch of church people. I had started with Dr. Eli in 2002. I was almost well in April. The wreck happened in May 3rd, 2003, and I finished getting well in July. Strange didn't make up that lie till November of 2003. It had nothing to do with the Vegas. Not one thing. Not one thing. Okay? In like August or September of this year, I was up in Akron, next to my client's next door neighbors. Some guy was talking to them, said, boy, that agent needs to get his facts straight before he puts his name on anything. It was a medication error made her sick before. Why did they wait 15 years to kill her? Well, when Strange thought she was following Tim and Katie, when it was my sister Linda, because Tim's her husband, following her husband with his mistress, and it wasn't me, it was Linda. Okay? When Strange thought she was following Tim and Katie, he made up that lie to get rid of her. And he actually ordered her to be killed, and they were to try to have her killed, and if she didn't die, to have her destroyed. They've been planning this since 2003. 2003. You tell everybody to stay out of this. None of this is funny. Now, I want you to think about that. And then the Vegas letting them use their family tragedy. I had nothing to do with it. And they had nothing to do with Strange making up a baby lie. Oh, you've been a faker over the last 4 or 5 years? Yeah, right. It had nothing to do with them. He could have told them I was a bank robber, a stripper, anything. Had nothing to do with them. Them reaching over and wanting sympathy 6 months later that had nothing to do with him. I only went to their church and he's making up a shitty baby lie on me. 6 months later, feel sorry for us. Because they needed something to manipulate people to participate in this. And they let them use their family tragedy because they were part of the murder scheme. And 6 months later had nothing to do with him lying on me. It was in November of 2003. I didn't even go to their church. They had to hunt me down. I want you to think how evil this is. I didn't even go to their church, and they had to hunt me down. And that agent, where I called the hotline, next day he's trying to call me back, and they drugged me up so bad I can't answer the phone. Hmm? Think about that. Hmm? I can't even answer the phone. Let it go to voicemail. Let it go to voicemail. Let it go to voicemail. Wake up later, stagger to the bathroom, stagger to the refrigerator. Hmm? Listen to the voicemail. This is Agent Dada. Call me back. Fall back to sleep. I can't. Second day, not much better. Third day, make myself get up. Sitting on the front porch, holding my head. I feel drunk and I don't drink. What's wrong with me again? Got enough air in my face, and one of the witnesses I gave the hotline called and made sure she'd witness for me. Hmm? Went out and bought a card, put that agent's number in it from the voicemail, dropped it off at her work. Her manager put it in a locker, went up to Apostolic Church of Barberton, and he's up there telling on me. It's been documented and verified by the police. It was the agent that returned my phone call telling on me to that church before he talked to me. And then he confessed on a recorded line the next day. We go walk in, Paul Paymer yells at Dave, my God, I had an FBI agent in my office. He's right there. I walk off. How dare you bring the FBI up here with threats on her life? Women walk up. He knows she's being drug beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. I'm covered in bruises, lost 18 pounds. Go in and sit down, they follow me. He knows she's being drug beaten, raped, and he said he didn't care. If she's going to be faking she was sick and faking she got well while that family was grieving, he didn't care what they did to her. And if she was going to be mean to their women, he was going to turn her back over to them. Can you imagine an agent saying that? I can't imagine a federal police officer, can you? Dave comes in, let's go. Found out the person I was supposed to be mean to was Katie, Dave's girlfriend. I mean, not Dave's girlfriend, but Tim's. His son's mistress of 20 years. And they're lying. They hadn't talked to in years. Dave comes in, let's go. Get out in the car, he called the FBI. I'm out to kill you myself. Starts punching me in the truck, goes for a loaded gun, put my hand on the console, and went back to punching me. I almost jumped on the highway, ran from him when I got home. The next day I called that agent back, rivers of tears. Told him someone told on me, calls me a liar. I tell him about the guy that threatened to knife me at Giant Eagle and calls me a liar. I tell him he tried to kidnap me before I can say Terry Cobley's seen him. He's like, oh, come on now. I met with that family in my office and all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well. That family was grieving. Conspiracy to commit murder and attempt to murder is life in federal. It's federal law. He was to arrest them, not make fun of the victim. I said I really was sick before. Was there a camera by the bench? I don't know. He starts screaming crazy crap about arresting me if I didn't say it. I'll put you in jail. You hear me? And I'm like, fine, whatever. Ha ha ha. He let a serial killer go. And because he let a serial killer go, my old house manager's niece got taken Christmas Day of 18. I don't find you funny, FBI agent John. You cost lives. No, and he said, I want you to say you were faking you were sick before. Well, I almost died. I said, I really was sick before. I've met with that family in my office and all those church people. And I know they're trying to kill you because you were faking you were sick and faking you got well, that family was grieving. I said, I really was sick. You need to realize what you've done, and I don't blame him for trying to kill you. That he was aiding and abetting attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder on a recorded line. You listen to the recorded line like an investigator said. I listened to it, and I almost fell out of my chair because he actually talks to her like that. Another one said he came up on his chair, could not believe he actually talked to me like that. Okay? And then it just gets worse. And I mean, he just starts, I've told you the whole thing where he yells at me, either say it or I'll leave you there, they're going to try to kill me, so you either say it or I'll leave you there, blah, 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 and goes on and on screaming, and it's like, fine, just don't let him kill me. Ha, ha, ha. Why would the FBI help a person like you? It's a sworn duty. I said, well, they're going to try to kill me, so. They've tried to kill me, so. You either say it or I'll leave you there. And it's like, fine, ha 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 ha. Then, why would the FBI help a person like you? They're going to try to kill me, so they've tried to kill me, so then they talk about, he said, well, I bet you're going to say, we could always use Pete's tape or Weird with Yourself, the shower scene in the other room. I'm like, I don't even know who Pete is. I've never met my rapist. The guy Dave was supposed to hire on his own, the drug cartel guy. I've never met him. And I said, what are you talking about? Because the only Pete I know is my brother Medina. Okay? I hadn't seen him in years. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, stop, Cheeto, now. And he's laughing with this other agent. He said, I bet you're going to say something about da-da-da. I said, what are you talking about? It's one of my black and blue marks. And I said, what are you talking about? You're talking about somebody I've never met. And he said, I bet you're going to say you don't know anything about some doctor selling your information. HIPAA violations, your doctors can't even talk to them, or they go to jail 1 to 5 years and a $250,000 fine. Without your signed release or written release, they can't talk to them. It's illegal. And here, December 30th, 23, Altman Hospital denounces them that they had some guy impersonate a doctor. And nobody backed those doctors from before they lied so bad that they said she had brain tumors, there's nothing wrong with her, but her muscles locked up, and they caused everything with medication errors, ripping her off. Nobody will back that, okay? It's documented medical malpractice and medication errors. Okay. And I said, what are you talking about? He's laughing at me, giving me a real reason. I tell him about my brother-in-law, Craig. And then he asked me if I talked to any law enforcement up there about threats on my life. And I told him the only 2 officers I've ever talked to were August 8th of 18, had a light in the security system. At midnight, they came out and they told me it looked like an alien orb, angry spirit. And told me to buy a dog and let a dog handle it. They didn't want bothered up there. You're kidding, right? I said, matter of fact, I've never even had my neighbors in my home. I've only had repair guys and family. Is that what's going on? And then he offers to take me and leave me somewhere with no money. Then he offers me, if I agree to get information on Dave and the churches, he would open an informant case, and I get $5,000 a month. It's for information. You have a life of peace as an informant, nothing legally stated, dated against you again, and only for you would we ever do this for. We'll always put it back as if it never happened. You can't be legally charged for anything again for working this case. You'll have that money to live on. But if you try to tell someone unless you're crazy, no one can help you. I told the Starr County Prosecutor's Office what he said to me, laughed, I cried. The only thing legal he did on that whole phone call was list you an informant with money and immunity. He's only a police officer. First Amendment takes a judge to put a gag order on you. I said, he said, and he's only a police officer. You don't even have the authority to ask anybody to stay quiet. Okay, I talked to a criminal attorney too and other police officers, and the same thing. It takes a judge. He was only bullying you. Okay? He can't even make up his own rules. He's just a higher police officer. And, the Fourth Amendment, no one can be in your home but a protected light case with statements in a court, or not even the FBI. Same with criminal attorney and police. Okay? He can't withhold your money, he cannot withhold protection. It's a 14th Amendment. You also have the right to remain quiet, the 5th Amendment and 6th Amendment right to an attorney in a fair trial and bail and bond. You have rights. He's been scamming everybody. Sheriff David Mike DeWine's cousin said, he's so arrogant with you. He stole other people's money. If they go back through his cases, he stole from other cases. He's so arrogant, he's doing it in front of people. Why haven't your local police arrested him? They have him for everything with that recorded line. And then him not giving your money and leaving you there. Everybody turn FBI agent John in. Do you know how many people were taken? Do you know how many people lost family members? There's still over 1,000 people missing from Ohio. Turn him in. Him letting this happen here was so illegal. The U.S. Marshals have been working the case, and they have found hundreds of people. And they arrested over 1,000 human traffickers. Turn him in. He's dangerous, letting the cartel get away with this. The cartel has been paying off police and all kinds of people to get away with murder here and selling people. They bragged they paid him off. They bragged he stole my money, and they even bragged that he gave it to the Michelle and Lauren, part of the drug cartel, and then he's financing them. He's very dangerous. I'm gonna go ahead and upload this.